the power of sci-fi radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Huh. Normally, we would play theme music here, but apparently it doesn't want to comply. Oh well.
Rude.
Fair enough. No music for you guys. You just have to deal with us. This is Docking Bay 94. It's another Thursday night, which means I'm here, Obi-Shawn Crosby.
Jeff Donoho.
And Colleen, Kaylee Crosby.
Glad to have all y'all here. You could be listening to us, Sans Theme, over on sci-fi.radio. You could be watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Any of those is acceptable. I think we decided it was more important to be in lots of different places than have, like, massive numbers in one spot.
Yeah.
We're focusing on that.
We're just like, bleh, whatever, man.
Right?
So here we are. Hope your week was great. We had a pretty good week. People are cropping up in the chat. Frequent Falcon Flyer. Skydance Don is there. Laura's there.
Chris is there. Don't forget Chris.
And Chris. And Pat. Hi, Pat. Yay, Pat. We haven't seen Pat in too long.
Talonthorn is there.
There it goes. Ah, there we go. I found it.
We need to schedule
and Vicky Skidmore.
a trip up to San Francisco. We can go see Pat.
That
and
would
Eric.
be super
Oh,
fun.
that'd be cool.
I have this idea that we're going to do this at some point. We're going to go to Rancho Obi-Wan and go to the Disney Family Museum and a bunch of things like that.
That would be a fun trip.
Just a nice little road trip and, report on all of that for these guys. I think they're really great.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's a thought. Dawn, yes, thank you. I am feeling better. Last week was pretty crummy and I just got pretty trashed. I wasn't feeling well physically and then emotionally I was kind of trashed. I lost a couple of friends. Which was not cool,
Yeah.
and it was just a heck of a week, and it's over. It's another week. We survived. All is well.
Yeah.
Ish. It's
True,
well-ish.
true.
Wellish.
I have. We ate rather quickly tonight, so I'm sort of like unprepared, less prepared than normal, and I seem to have taco sauce all over me. Like, what?
That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
a little weird. I'm like, I'm sticky and spicy. So I got that going for me. How's everybody doing?
Yeah. Doing okay. Also, let's say hi to Beth Allen 72
Oh, that's Liz. Yeah.
Woohoo. Hey,
and
Liz.
Alan, and there's the extra say hi's too.
Sweet. Yay.
Oh, and Castle
then
Clue.
they subscribed again.
Who?
Yes.
Castle.
Go.
That's cool.
Sounds like what Popeye would say. Castle.
We're going to the Cusco.
Yeah.
Alan and I were talking about the Star Wars event coming up in October, which so for years Jeff and Colleen and I and the 501st and the Rebel Legion, the whole usual gang of idiots, would do this gigantic Star Wars event at Rancho Cucamonga, and Alan has changed libraries. He's over at Upland now, and so we of course are migrating over there, and so the event that we used to do on Memorial Day weekend in May is now in October for Star Wars Reads Day. And so I went to Disneyland yesterday, which was a last-minute reservation. I actually got a last-minute reservation. I was very impressed that I was able to do that. And I drove to Disneyland, and I recorded a bunch of promos for the library at various different places around Galaxy's Edge. And the idea was like, hey, it's me, Obi-Shawn, and I'm here at Galaxy's Edge, but that's not where I'm going to be on the 7th. I'm going to be at the Upland Library, and we're going to do this big Star Wars event, and it's going to be awesome. And so I tried one with the 360-degree camera to see how that worked out. So I sat at docking bay 7 with the Millennium Falcon on one side of the camera and me on the other. And then I went to different places and shot just sort of like a little selfie video with a cool backdrop. But no matter where I went, invariably, I'd like start, it'd be kind of quiet, and then somebody would come and stand next to me. Even though like I tried really hard to position myself away from where people would want to go, somebody would come over and stand there and like have a family conversation. And so I'm sitting there and I'm recording myself and I'm in the middle of doing this thing and you know, hey, we're going to have crafts and story time and a costume contest. And then like somebody will go, do you have to pee, Billy? Should we go to the bathroom? You have to pee? And I'm like, I'm going to cut that one.
That's terrible.
It was a really weird thing. So I'm probably going to have to overdub that.
Maybe a little
bit.
Also say hi to Eric and Mella, who have joined us as well.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Eric.
And
I was on a quest for Mella yesterday, and I failed. I tried to get her a Minnie Mouse sipper, and they apparently sold out within a half an hour of the park's opening.
Oh,
that's crazy.
It is nuts, and I bet you anything, if I go to eBay, they're all about $100.
Yeah, everything's in Evil Bay. Yeah.
It's just the worst.
Yeah.
Heck?
And Eric asks if you've thought of doing a green screen, and I'm assuming, do you mean for this show, Eric, or you mean for something else?
No, I think he means for the promo stuff that I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I have thought about it, but you know, it's not like we have like really great space inside the house, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
I have several green screens. I have that ability to do it, but it's just not really that big a deal. And honestly, being on location at Galaxy's Edge was much more fun than just throwing up a picture. But even the ones that I did in previous years were just me standing in my driveway with the car behind me, and that also was noisy enough that I had to overdub it and whatnot. What I really need, I think, is like a lavalier mic or something like that. And it's just equipment I haven't invested in yet. So we'll see. But you know, the video doesn't have the people in it. It's just they're just talking over me and, you know, making lunch plans and going to the bathroom apparently. I looked up the sipper, and it looks like they're going on average for about $60. That one's 80. Oh, that one's 40. 40 is not bad. 85. I wonder what the highest one is. There's got to be somebody.
I don't know. I know that Starbucks apparently has a tumbler, plastic cup with a straw, of this Ghostbusters, but not Ghostbusters. I think it's like, well, it is. We didn't want to pay the licensing fee or whatever. So it's like green with a green slime lid. You know.
Oh, we were just at Starbucks.
Glows in the dark.
I didn't see it.
I think it's only at the ones that are inside of Targets. Strangely enough, I could be wrong.
Starbucks to release a slime dripping tumbler this Halloween.
Yeah. And it's already out because you can already get it on like Etsy and eBay.
It's $70 on Etsy. Is that what people are doing instead of eBay? They're just selling secondhand stuff on Etsy now.
Oh, Etsy's going to trash. Apparently.
Oh my gosh, that's
Poshmark too.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, the cup is only like something like $20-something at Starbucks.
Sure,
but as you can see, the markup.
Well, and man, it's just it's I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And it's not even that great of a cup. I mean,
no,
it's just green with like
green with dripping slime, and I mean it's cute.
Yeah.
It would be fun to slap a Ghostbusters sticker on.
Yeah,
I guess
because they had one before, but there was one before that had the Starbucks logo on it and stuff, and it was more translucent green. But that was, I don't know how long ago that came out. That was years ago. Yeah.
Oh, it was Hocus Pocus. That's what I was thinking. I was looking over here on
Disney?
Etsy to see. They don't seem to have the sticker, the sipper rather. It's mostly just eBay.
So this is interesting. Somebody made their own and is selling it.
Well, that's what Etsy is for, is people making their own.
And this is on Etsy,
stuff.
but it's for $40. You can buy a similar cup, but made out of foamy stuff.
Yeah.
Foamy stuff.
Yeah, it's wacky.
I like that the Starbucks version is glow in the dark. At least the bottom part is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy.
Well, this mini sipper seems to be around $90 for the highest thing, and there are 273 results on eBay. So lots of people doing the secondhand market thing.
Christina had gotten the mini. I guess you could mix them together, called it Mini Fred, but Winnie Mini dresses Winifred from Hocus Pocus, but it's a big. I think it's a popcorn bucket.
That's the one I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Like this big or something?
It's a sipper. It's a cup sipper.
Oh.
That was the one that I was hunting for Mela. Could not find it.
Oh, okay. Because this one's like yay big. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
8 or so inches or 10 inches tall.
Yeah,
that's pretty big.
And the straw comes out of her head. And
I hate when a straw comes out of my head.
I know, isn't it awful? I got to tell you,
crazy,
Jeff. This just surfaced up on my Facebook page. In 2012, on our way back from Celebration, and I assume Dragon Con, the H-Wing needed tires. The tires shredded.
Yes, I remember that.
And we ended up in Bixby, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We ended up going to Chakotah, Oklahoma, which is where that American Idol singer was from. What was her name? They had a big shrine to her. I can't think of what her name was.
I want to say Kelly Pickler, but I don't think that's who it was.
It's not.
It was the other one.
Whoever the big first one was.
Yeah, well.
and trying to look up Chakotah, you get Chakotay, which is really hard.
From Star Trek?
Yeah, from Star Trek, which is really funny. So anyway, we got stuck, and we pulled off the freeway, and there was a Sinclair gas station. And we went in and we said hi, and I think we bought some Dr. Pepper, and we talked to the really super nice woman behind the counter. Yeah. And she was a big Star Wars fan, and we said, look, we can't move our car, and we're going to walk next door to the Bates Motel, and we're going to stay there overnight.
Pretty much.
But can we leave our car here overnight, because the tires are shredded and we're going to need to get them fixed, and we'll put it out of the way. And she's like, oh my God, we're a huge Star Wars fan. By all means, you leave your car. It would be really great. And we were joking around and talking and stuff. And she talked about her dad and how big a fan her dad was. And so in payment for letting her leave the car there, I recorded a video for her dad with Yoda. Got the Yoda puppet out and did the thing. And that video came up in her memory, and she tagged me in it. Which was really very fun. It was like 11 years ago. Super cool. And she was so excited to do it for her dad. It was really, really neat. And so that just showed up. She says, Sean Crosby, you had trouble with the X-Wing this day also. I must complain about my car a lot.
The country singer was probably Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And she did a song about living in Chakotah and what a big deal it was. Her song was "I Ain't in Chakotah Anymore." Yeah, and
that was
she's singing about that song, and I'm like, and I'm listening to that song. I'm like, oh yeah, we were there.
That was like
that's authentic.
In that old train. The old train museum.
Right. We thought it was a restaurant. We thought we were going to get lunch. And it turned out that it was a couple of train cars strung together. and it was the Katy Museum. It was for the Katy Railway, and so it was run by a husband and wife, and as many relationships do, they compartmentalized, and so she had the shrine to Carrie Underwood, and he had the big Civil War battlefield layout with miniatures. And he had the train stuff, and she had like the home arts stuff. It was hysterical, and they were super sweet. It was really fun, and there was no lunch to be had.
Yeah, I remember we went. There was a bowling alley too. We tried the bowling alley.
We tried the bowling alley. Food? They didn't have any food. We don't even know why they were open.
As advertised, we're no okay.
Yeah, it was really terrible, and we ended up at like a McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
But we tried. We tried to find local cuisine.
Yeah. There.
Oh,
he keeps bugging. He's bugging me, so I'm just gonna have to do this.
It's your lupus.
Nice.
Yeah. He just keeps bugging me, coming over and bugging me. So you're gonna come here until you're gonna be tired of me.
Right.
It's your little Chewbacca.
It's Jeff's co-pilot.
Right.
Nice. Well, he seems very excited.
So, Sean, you did the video thing.
Right. Which I now have to edit and stuff.
Yeah, and it was a long weekend, so you'd think we'd have like lots of stuff that we did over the weekend.
Nah. We didn't really.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I can't even remember Saturday. Friday we went to the mall and walked around. It was like we were 18 again.
Yeah, actually. So when we were not quite 18, but when Colleen and I first started going out and we had no money and we started living together and we were like trying to find things to do that didn't cost anything, we would go to the mall and we would go window shopping. We went to the Northridge Mall mostly. I think we went to the Sherman Oaks Galleria a couple of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of the malls that we went to, like some of them are just dead. They're just gone.
They're gone.
But yeah, we would go and we would hang out at the mall and which is what we were programmed to do as teenagers in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was still the 1980s. It was 1988 and we were doing the same thing. Going to the mall. Oh my God.
We did. But I can't actually remember Saturday.
That's because we did something you didn't want to do. We went hunting for couches.
Oh, right.
Oh,
God.
oh boy.
Yeah,
We have a couch from IKEA. And
I don't like shopping.
It looks nice, and it is the worst couch to sit on at all. We're always fighting with the cushions because they're always sliding out from the couch. They're always falling off the couch. We are always falling off the couch. It's okay to lay on. This is the couch we replaced our last couch with, which
that's what I thought.
we really liked. We had just beaten it up too much, and so we gave that away. We gave
not
it,
knowing that would have been a huge mistake.
Right, and we got this other couch because the one we sat on, and this is not the first time we've had this problem. The one we sat on in IKEA seemed all right. And we're like, okay, we'll get this. We had the same problem with our Tempur-Pedic bed, where we laid on a Tempur-Pedic bed and went, wow, this is super comfortable. And then we got a Tempur-Pedic bed at our house, and it has never broken in to be comfortable. It's still kind of uncomfortable. And we've had it for like, 15, 16, 17 years?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's still uncomfortable, but what do you do?
It's not as bad as when we first got it, though.
No, but it's still pretty awful.
Yeah.
And so we've had this couch from IKEA, and we know we need to replace it, but the furniture shop that we went to, which was like Wicks or Levitz or something, isn't in existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to 4 furniture stores looking. We think we found one, but now we have to discuss.
We have to make sure. One of the problems,
because they weren't. We did it on Labor Day weekend because we're like, oh, there'll be sales. There were no sales.
Yes.
There was a guy making balloon animals. That was what we had in lieu of sales.
They had Labor Day events, but they weren't discounting anything. One place had no sales tax. That was the closest we got to a discount.
Yeah.
So the difficulty we're having, what we thought we would do, since we have a small living room and we have a couch, and we almost always sit on the couch when we're just going to watch TV. We thought we might get one of the ones that has a recliner built in. and you could recline the seat and watch TV and it'd be all nice and comfortable, right? And, invariably one or the other of us will lay across the couch and put one of our heads in the other's lap. And we're very casual on the couch, and we sleep on the couch. Guests sleep on our couch because we have no guest room. And so we're trying to find something that fits all of these things. But when you go to the furniture store now and you look at the couches that have recliners built into them, or even some of the ones that don't, they look like movie theater seats or car seats, or they've got all this quilting. And Colleen was looking at couches and she's like, I don't want to get anything that looks Klingon.
Yeah,
and it was sort of the perfect way. Yeah, it was sort of the perfect way to describe it, because it was just like brutalist design of like, look at the quilting and padding and the this and that. It was awful. So we've had a really hard time finding a couch. We think we found one that is the least Klingon of the ones that they were offering.
Yeah.
Oh man, we had ours made, so to speak. They had a sectional type thing that someone made for us, and like down from this, it's north of my work on Harbor, and it's like big old sectional that's in our living room.
Yeah, we looked at we don't have room for a sectional. And that's
they have all sorts of couches, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what most of them are, the sectionals, and that's really hard. And you can't just get part of a sectional.
Oh yeah,
you have to find an actual couch. And so, and we have like 88 inches in which to fit a couch, and many of them are 90, which is rough. And then if you want a recliner, in our case, we need the controls to be inside the arms of the couch instead of outside the couch, because you can't stick your arm down there if it's up against the wall. And if it's too tall, then Gamera can't see the television. I mean, come on. We've got all of these things to take into account.
So I'm going to say hi to Lori and Kelly and my mom. Hi, Mom. Larry, Anna. Oh, no, Ann, not Anna. I'm sorry. I got Ann M. Rosa, and I combined it into Anna. So then, Sunday wasn't super exciting. I went to urgent care because my eyes were weird. But
and that's never exciting.
Apparently they're just dry. So I'm fine. But that kind of wipes out your day when you go to urgent care.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
But I got lots of flowers because I went to Armstrong afterwards. Now I just have to plant the flowers that I got. And then Monday, Sean and I went to Disneyland
for Labor Day. We did.
Yeah, and we went on one ride, and that was the monorail.
That was the monorail getting into the park.
Yeah, from the Star Wars store into Tomorrowland.
Right, from downtown Disney.
Okay.
And and that was the only ride we did all day. Pretty sad. We saw some shows though, kind of. We saw Mr. Lincoln Presents, which they have a new opening thing with oh my gosh, I'm picturing him, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
Frederick Douglass.
They went back and they changed the intro video for Black History Month. And so now it talks about Lincoln and the influence that Frederick Douglass had on Lincoln. And because everybody's like, oh, Lincoln freed the slaves. And you got to kind of back that up a little bit, because just about everybody was sort of reluctant to free the slaves. And it took a little cajoling.
It took a lot of talking by Frederick Douglass.
There was a lot of negotiation and making Lincoln understand why this was important on Frederick Douglass's behalf. And so, we're not slighting Lincoln in any way, but sometimes you need that person to poke you with a sharp stick to get something done.
Yeah.
That sharp stick was Frederick Douglass. And it was a nice little video. It was about 10 minutes long. Yeah. And you watched it before you went in and sat in the theater. And then
that's cool.
And then we did go see Mr. Lincoln, which, we do like once a year maybe. And it was pretty good. We feel better about seeing Mr. Lincoln because it's not the Hall of Presidents in in Florida, and so we don't have to see like unpleasant presidents we don't like.
Yeah.
So.
And then we backtracked to go to the Golden Horseshoe Review because I wanted to sit and listen to the piano player and eat an ice cream sundae.
Man, the piano players there are great, and we did the show when her dad came to visit. We sat in there, and they played a whole bunch of stuff that was really fun. And I don't know if this was the same guy. Colleen said it's not.
I don't think it is.
But he came out and he played a lot of the same songs. And actually, one of the things we had to do is take a look at his playlist and figure out which songs were actually real old-timey cowboy songs. Because in reality, the majority of his things came from like 1930 and later. And so he did
a lot of ragtime.
He had maybe 3 things. He just made the cut for 1900 with the Maple Leaf Rag, which was 1899. But he would play like "Don't Fence Me In," which of course is Cole Porter.
Gotcha.
And what's funny is the time we went with my dad, I think we've been there 3 times in recent memory, and one of the times we were sitting there and he asked for if anybody had any songs that they wanted him to play, and "Don't Fence Me In" is what we requested.
Okay.
And then this guy actually played "Don't Fence Me In" as like his second number.
Right. And then he played his favorite Jimmy Buffett song, because Jimmy Buffett had just passed away.
Okay.
And he was really good. He was having fun. And it's really funny. So the piano doesn't have a front on it. Usually you see a piano with the back off and it's just bare wood and you see the slats and stuff. This one didn't have a front, so he had the keyboard with like no wooden barrier between him and the piano, and that was kind of interesting. And that might have been for maybe better sound to fill the audio, because his piano was not amplified. He was, but the piano wasn't. And but he was having fun, and he's like, doing his ragtime, and he's looking out and smiling at the audience and doing whatever. He was having a pretty great session there, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch him. And when we got there, we made a beeline there from what used to be the old bank over by the train station on Main Street. Now it's the Disneyana Collectibles store, and so Colleen's like, well, the show starts in 8 minutes. And I'm like, let's go. And we made it there in plenty of time. We just like, boom. And then we walked in and it was pretty empty. So we scored the stage
side seat.
Left balcony thing. It's like
the downstairs balcony.
Yeah,
seat.
Opens onto the stage. He was like right there.
Okay.
It was really funny.
Okay.
And so like we'd be singing maybe a little too loud, and he'd kind of like look over and like nod and smile and hey, it was really great. And so like he closed with Happy Trails, and he's like,
oh, that's cool.
He's looking at me going, you're not singing loud enough. I'm like, okay, sorry. That was really fun. So yeah, it's one of those things. I miss the old Golden Horseshoe show, but this is less of a commitment. You can goof off with this. The other one, you're like, have to watch a show. And this is like, you can enjoy your ice cream sundae while he's playing songs, and you're not as invested. So, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
It was nice.
The regular show in there.
Jeff, what about you? How was your weekend?
Didn't do a whole lot. Pretty much just around the house or to various stores. Nothing spectacular. Working in the yard and attacking the bougainvillea, the banana tree, or whatever what the heck you want to call that thing. Yeah. So I mean, it makes bananas that are like about as long as my pinky, and then they dry up and fall off, and it's overgrown and dead. So, or super overgrown isn't really grown. But that's really about it. Just home, doing garden stuff and pets.
That's cool.
A lot of stuff with the puppy dogs and things. Yeah.
Sweet.
Alrighty, so I guess we should get on and talk about some Star Wars history.
Sounds good.
Cool.
I gotta find the document.
That's
Here
right
we go.
here. Okay. September 5th, 1914. That's when Stuart Freeborn was born.
Woo!
And for folks that didn't know, he basically was the one who designed Yoda and Chewbacca. And I'm not sure what else he might have. I'm not sure what else he designed. I know that at least those two.
Oh my gosh, all sorts of other things. And he was born
Primarily
in
those.
1914 and had like a really long career in stuff. And he did regular makeup stuff too. He did stuff for Santa Claus the movie and the Superman films, and of course all of the original Star Wars trilogy films. The Great Muppet Caper he did. And one of the things that's really interesting about Stuart Freeborn is that he had a particular look to him, and he used part of his own look in the design for Yoda. So he took his own face and he took Albert Einstein's face and he smooshed them together and came up with Yoda. Yeah. And it worked. It was pretty great, including
it works totally.
his very light hair that that Yoda ended up with, like just sort of a fuzz of white hair, which is very much Stuart Freeborn. And it was great. And honestly, of all the characters that he could have inserted himself into, it was the one that worked perfectly.
Oh yeah, totally.
But he did The Omen.
2001.
He did Murder on the Orient Express, Alice in Wonderland, all sorts of really great stuff. Yeah, I wonder what he did in 2001.
I think he did the monkeys. They threw the bone in the air.
Oh, right.
The monkey people.
Cool.
I want to call it that. Yeah.
And he did Dr. Strangelove, and he just goes way back.
Yeah, it's a big old list of tons and tons of work. Before I get to the next one, thank you, Liz. She subscribed for 3 months.
Wow.
Thank you.
For the channel as an early present to my birthday
or something.
Nice.
Yeah. Gave me for an early. She says happy early birthday for me. So there you go. The second one on the list is September 5th, 1934. Marvin Golder was born. And I guess Star Wars wise, you wouldn't really know it unless you watched like the Ewoks cartoons or the Droids cartoon. So he played various characters on that. But other than that, he has a pretty big repertoire as well. A lot of voiceovers, like Garbage Pail Kids and Cops cartoons and Babar and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then our last of the birthday ones that listed we have is September 2nd, 1937. That's when Lynn Carlson was born. Again, he's pretty much about the same. Droids and I think just droids, not necessarily Ewoks, but he did a lot of voices for droids. And then his regular stuff is again the same thing. It's actually even more. So a lot of voice work. This is just crazy how much he did. It just like roll the dice and go, yep, he was in that. Yep, he was in that.
That's pretty funny.
So it's crazy. That was it for the B days. And then our last 3 things here are September 4th, 1977 is when Star Wars won Best Science Fiction Fantasy Works at Worldcon. It's like something that because it hadn't come out, it didn't quite have it couldn't quite qualify yet for the normal award, so it was like a special award that they gave it.
So it was a special Hugo Award?
Not for the from Worldcon. I don't know if it was a Hugo.
Worldcon awards the Hugo Awards.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I have to look at the darn thing, and it's not actually in our notes.
I'm taking a quick look
but I think
here.
it was a special award because of it came out and was successful.
Did you say it was
Groundbreaking.
77 or 78 that it won?
It says 77.
Oh, okay. Well, then they must have done something, because it definitely won one in 78.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So somebody must have done something special. I mean, it was a thing that just completely rocked the science fiction world. And, I could see them wanting to acknowledge it. In 1977, they did not have a main award for dramatic presentation for some reason. I'm looking at it right here, and it says no award. But the other nominations, Carrie, Logan's Run, The Man Who Fell to Earth, and Future World. So they didn't have an award that year, even though those other 4 movies were great.
Yeah.
That's really bizarre. And then the following year, Star Wars got an award.
Yeah, it says the back then called SunCon, and it was included as Hugo's first award, as a first for the Hugo Awards. Yeah, since it couldn't be eligible for a Hugo because, like you said, it wasn't something they had yet.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't say that they weren't wrong.
Yeah. So bizarre. Okay. Next, we have what we kind of mentioned earlier because of a few of the birthdays. Is September 7th, 1985. That's when the Ewoks and Droids Adventures premiered on ABC. Like Saturday morning. Which I did watch. I watched it. I don't know if I watched the entire season of the darn thing when it came out because I can't remember. But, I did watch a lot of them.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
and
they skewed a little young for me, I think.
There's no way I watched this.
Yeah, they're a little bizarre if you go back and watch them now. Like Disney Plus has them, and they're just kind of odd. They're really kind of weird and bizarre. The Droids one is a little more grounded in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's less weird, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
The Ewoks one was a little bit really weird. September 2nd, 2014, and that's when Star Wars A New Dawn was published as the first novel in the new Star Wars canon.
This was after everything got announced as Legends by Disney, basically the expanded universe. I'm going to jump in here for a second because I have news of an event that sort of relates to this.
Rebels.
Some friends of ours are putting on an event this weekend in Burbank. It's called Legends Con.
Yeah.
And it is basically a Star Wars convention that is designed to celebrate everything that was the old expanded universe.
Oh, cool.
Books, comics, games, whatever. And so I'm putting my car on display there this weekend, and I'm moderating at least one panel. That's Friday and Saturday, and it's at the Burbank Airport Hilton, where we've done lots of stuff. And apparently, and this is pretty epic, apparently all of the proceeds that they make from the convention, I assume once they pay their bills, is going to the Peter Mayhew Foundation.
Oh, that is awesome.
So that's very cool. So we're gonna I'll give you a report on that one. Are you going, Jeff?
I have no idea.
But I'll let y'all know what happens next week. I'll give you a review.
Sweet.
But it covers all the stuff that Disney shunted aside. Although, to be fair, that stuff was never canon. It was George always considered it extraneous to the real Star Wars story. So even though it had the Star Wars name on it, none of it was official. So.
Yeah, A New Dawn is has to do with Star Wars Rebels, actually. So
Yeah, I remember that. I remember, I think, getting a paperback copy of the book or something when it came out at some event. They were handing them out. I think we have it around here somewhere. And I meant to read it, and I never did.
It doesn't have to do with Skydance, Don?
No, D-A-W-N. Spelled differently.
No fun. Ahmed Best has ideas for a Keller and Beck Mando spinoff.
I bet he does.
Yeah. Does anybody know what those ideas are?
Well, he Ahmed Best came back as Keller and Beck in the kids game show, which was like the Jedi Trials, or what was it called? Jedi Temple Challenge is what it was called. And so
you weren't far off.
And so he did that, and that was really cool. And then they brought him into The Mandalorian as the guy who saved Grogu from Order 66 when Anakin went in and slayed all the Padawans and whatnot. He was saved by Keller and Beck. And of course, it was a big redemption for Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, who is one of the most controversial characters in the Star Wars canon. So it was really just an amazing thing for him to come back and sort of wipe away all the assault that he got from Jar Jar and do something good in the universe. So his idea is basically that he would. Yep, and now I've lost it. I had it. Whatever. He said that I would never say never about a spin-off idea. I don't feel like Jar Jar's story was ever closed, but right now I would like to explore more Keller and Beck. I'd love to do a Star Wars martial arts show, like a Jedi John Wick.
Wow.
That'd be sweet.
So that's his idea. He'd go from being like the clumsy Jar Jar Binks to being martial arts Jedi. Yeah. That'd be pretty funny. But anyway, Ahmed Best deserves all the good fortune people can throw his way. So
plus his costume was outstanding.
Right. Yeah. He worked with Shauna Terpsik to put a lot of personal symbology into his costume, which was really great. And I don't know. People were a little too hard on Jar Jar, I think. He had a part to play in the galaxy. If people didn't like it, well, you don't like everybody, you know?
Yeah. Ahsoka Episode 5 is going to be in limited theaters for a fan event. So if you live in one of the cities where it is playing in the theater and they haven't already run out of tickets...
and you're not a SAG member.
Which they ran out of tickets in Los Angeles, New York, and Florida. Then, oh, no, I take that back. They've run out of tickets everywhere.
I got an email.
We're telling you it's too late to get a ticket.
I got an email, as I imagine Jeff probably did, and local Rebel Legion members, that they were taking names for fans to go. Yeah. But that was like this morning, I think I got that.
Okay, but I looked at this, I think 2 days ago, and there was already... the tickets were already gone in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
there's a button that says join the wait list.
Yeah, it sounds like they had saved some seats for hardcore fans.
So there's a wait list for Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, and DC. If you live near any of those places, then you can join the wait list.
I thought you were going to break into song like Yakko Warner.
Yeah. Well, I didn't list the international locations because that's not on that link. But
United States, Canada, Mexico,
but,
Panama.
You know, if you aren't able to get a ticket, you could just watch it on Disney Plus 2 days later.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
What day is the event?
The event is either Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Of next week. It is September 12th.
September 12th.
Which is what? Hang on.
That's a Tuesday.
Calendar. It's Tuesday.
Because we have a thing on Wednesday.
Yeah. So you can watch it on Tuesday or you can watch it the next day.
Yeah, no big deal. I mean, you get to hang out with Star Wars fans, see it on a big screen, and eat some popcorn.
Yes.
And I like going to events. I like being like, I'm not a baseball fan, but I love being in the stadium and like hanging out, soaking up the energy, and I'm sort of like a social vampire in that way. I feel that that's where I would be with doing this Ahsoka thing, because I'm not super engaged in this show. I'm afraid. And I guess we'll talk a little more about that when we talk about the episodes. We're like, what,
Why don't we talk
behind?
about that right now? Because
We
that's
can.
next in our list.
So we talked about episodes 1 and 2, which came out on the same day. And then we missed episode 3, which was last week. And episode 4 was this week. And we won't do spoilers for you. But so a lot of my friends on Facebook were just going like bananas over this episode, and they're
This
like,
week's episode?
yeah, and, oh my god, and this and that, and whoa, and I'm so emotional, and I can't sleep, and I'm like, oh. and I'm like, I feel weird because I'm not that emotional. We saw all of Rebels, and it was okay, and I know what's going on in the episode. There's not a lot of surprises in this series for me. I kind of see a lot of stuff coming. And other people have agreed with me with that. They're like, oh, they're telegraphing so much stuff that you see it coming like a mile away. And there's lots of little moments that should be tugging on heartstrings and stuff. And they're just not for me. And I don't know. And to be fair, I mean, full disclosure, I cry at movies a lot, man. I'm an easy touch where that kind of stuff is concerned. But for whatever reason, this is not engaging me in that way. And all the stuff that's happening in the episode, I'm like, yeah, okay. And I seem to be feeling about this the way a lot of people felt about Book of Boba Fett, where they were like, I don't understand this. And it's like, it's just not exciting me and whatever. And, I don't know, to the point where I'm like, I'm reviewing the last episode going, what did I miss? And I didn't miss anything. I just didn't connect with it, which is really strange. So I feel like I'm in a really weird spot where this series is concerned, because I want to like it. And it's exciting to see all of these characters come back. Like, Sabine's doing interesting stuff and Hera's doing interesting stuff. But
I really like the character Sabine, and I'm not so fond of the character Ahsoka.
Well, I feel, and please feel free to disagree with me and present your own argument. I feel like I know too much about Ahsoka, because we've got 60 hours of Clone Wars episodes that feature her. We've seen her show up off and on through Rebels. We got Tales of the Jedi, which showed her like right before Order 66 and as a 2-year-old, like utilizing the Force as a natural and becoming alpha in a wolf pack. It's like it's what happened with Darth Vader in the prequel movies, where she's not mysterious anymore. We know so much about her that, like, oh, she's in a fight. Well, she's probably going to win that, or she'll come out of it, otherwise unscathed. And so, like, the stakes are really low for me to watch her. And I'm like, she's not going to lose an arm. She's not going to win, because she's, if Anakin was George Lucas's chosen one, Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's chosen one. And so I was having a discussion with somebody. They're like, oh, Super Rey just like jumps in and uses the Force and does whatever. And, she's just like magic character. And I'm like, honestly, that's exactly how I feel about Ahsoka. And I know that we've seen like her whole Jedi career unfold in front of us in the Clone Wars, but she's just super powerful. She's super strong. She knows everything about the Force. She's very smug in this series, and I'm like, I'm not invested. So, and like I said, feel free to refute that and tell me your experience, because I don't think I'm missing anything, but it's also just not clicking with me.
with Ahsoka herself, yeah, I agree. She seems to be a bit too powerful. Except when they show her fighting off with somebody else with a lightsaber, that doesn't. It seems about equal for some reason. And the Force and whatnot. So I don't know. For each confrontation I've seen, it's been about that. Yeah, I agree about the cartoon thing they did earlier with the baby Ahsoka making her super powerful. It was kind of weird because it didn't really match up with what they did with her later on in, say, the Clone Wars.
Right.
But so this one, it seems to me like her character seems more along the lines that she's been through enough that she seems a little more I don't know, a little more with it, I guess, a little more confident that she's not, so many of these things that are happening. I like Ahsoka. I'm not as invested in the character of Ahsoka like you. I'm actually more invested with the other characters that they're bringing in because Ahsoka's really just a continuation of Rebels.
Right.
But and that's what I'm most excited for. I do like Ahsoka, but I was more excited seeing Hera pop in there and Sabine and such, and Chopper, and I was like, it was like, oh, they're here. All right, I'm good, because I love those characters. I'm glad they came back.
I'm definitely enjoying that, and like I like Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's doing a good job. Sabine is well cast. Rosario Dawson's fine for me with Ahsoka. She's okay. But, it's... and I imagine where they left episode 4, that episode 5 is supposed to be the big blowout episode, and that's going to be amazing. And I won't say that the show isn't really pretty. The space battles are great. The lightsaber fighting is awesome. There's a lot to really recommend the thing. But Ahsoka's the title character. And I get how people were like, hey, it's the Book of Boba Fett, and I'm not really engaging with Boba Fett. And that's where I am with Ahsoka, where I'm not engaging with Ahsoka. But the Rebels season 5 aspect of it with the Ghost, which we got to see, which was great, and Hera and Sabine and those folks, that's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
And Chopper.
Yeah.
Eric says Chopper. Chopper and his high body count and crimes against humanity.
I was also happy to see a few characters come in, but another person that played a role in the cartoon come back live action, and that was Clancy Brown.
Yes.
Playing the same character. I was like, this is great. So I was
and we just watched that episode too, with him in it for Rebels. We're rewatching Rebels. And we just saw him again, which was super cool.
Yeah.
So he's played 4 characters now in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And
it's like that weird, what was that, the deep devilish, whatever they call him, alien from the Mandalorian, and
Deville, I think, is the character. And so he was that big guy in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
He was Savage Opress, of course.
Yeah.
He was this mayor character, whoever he was. And there's one more, I think, that I'm kind of spacing on.
Most likely, like another voice character.
Yeah.
But that was great to see him. But I don't know. Like I said before, at least the first 2 episodes, and then it just continues. I still love these, at least the episodes I've seen. I've loved it so far, and it was just the fact, I talked about this, I think, after the show last time, 2 weeks ago, was that for me, this has been the first time that I have seen Star Wars since Return of the Jedi that I felt like a kid that was watching Return of the Jedi.
That's
I don't have a better way to describe that. It was just they brought me back to the young age.
Your sense of wonder is back.
Yeah, and it was from this show. So, go figure.
That's
that's
pretty
good.
Yeah.
I will say it really did make me want to go buy their $500 ghost toy. I did not. I did not do it, but I really wanted to.
And on our family Discord, they keep showing me the thing. Well, see, I'm like, it's expensive.
It's expensive and it's over.
Yeah,
they needed to make $8,000 worth of sales in order to make it. They made $21,000 worth of sales.
Yeah. So they made plenty of money to make it. Good gravy.
That's because a lot of people bought them and are going to resell them. It's the same thing with the Ghostbusters pack. They got one to keep and one to sell to pay for the one that they bought.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we talking about? The Darksaber?
No, we're talking about the 3-foot long ghost starship that they had at Comic-Con this year. They did a HasLab Kickstarter, and they, much like the Ghostbusters backpack, they got a ridiculous response.
Oh yeah.
And but it was $500, and it comes with the crew action figures, and it's bigger than the Millennium Falcon above your head.
It's insane.
It's
yeah,
absolutely
it's huge.
Monstrously huge. Wow. But it's super detailed. It's really incredible. But it was $500.
Yeah. Good gravy.
Yeah.
That is
That's
crazy.
insane.
I just in case I didn't make known how I felt about Ahsoka is it's okay. It's not I'm not angry at having to watch it, but I'm also not really super engaged in it either. And my main takeaway is that I like watching what's her name?
Sabine.
Oh, okay.
Sabine is completely your type of character.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's. I think Sabine is Sparrow's favorite character too, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, and Colleen, you're a big fan of stories about a lot of different characters spread across a large environment, and this is that kind of a show.
No.
Even if you don't like every character, you can at least find someone to identify with.
I prefer a group of people that come together and have adventures while being witty. And so this doesn't actually fit that. This
we certainly haven't hit the witty
together.
part of it.
And it's not witty. I'm not doing a lot of laughing. So,
I think there's been banter a bit between like Ahsoka and Sabine, but not really to the effect of like, a whole thing.
Yeah,
like a whole team.
No.
There's a development that I won't talk about because it was in the last two episodes. But in the first two episodes, they established that in the many times they mentioned Thrawn's name, that they're going to they're trying to get to another galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's interesting to me because Star Wars is very much about a galaxy far, far away. It's not a multiverse, and it's not about multiple galaxies. But Dave Filoni's looks like he's looking to open that up to go to another galaxy, in which I suppose they can tell all sorts of other stories because Thrawn is supposed to be there and Ezra is supposed to be there.
It makes me. I was just wondering if they'll bring in something like the Ezon Vong or something because they're in a different galaxy.
Maybe. It's kind of weird, and it makes me. Everybody is so focused on multiverses now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be kind of disappointed if Star Wars goes that direction.
I hope not.
It's a thing I really don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we need it in Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but who knows? Because I don't know what's going on with inside Dave's head when he start, with what he's doing with this. But
Dave was talking about the way he set up Rebels, and so in Rebels, we ended up at one point that was like what did they call it? It was like the world between worlds or something.
Yes.
It was sort of the Jedi purgatory, and he said that is a place which you can review, much like sort of Doctor Strange, how things might have played out in other timelines with other changes, and that you might actually be able to change history there.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, he basically just gave himself a big opening to change anything in the Star Wars universe to the way he wants to.
Yeah.
And so, he could very easily go back and make Anakin not go evil, make Ahsoka save him, there's all this kind of stuff that could happen. And I feel like I'm going to be disappointed if that happens, because it's kind of a cheat. Yeah.
I mean, they already kind of did it, obviously, in the Rebel series.
Right.
Exactly. But I don't know what their plan is with this one. So
I don't know either. And
although I don't want to avoid any spoiling of anything, so we'll
I see a lot
we're at the top of the hour now, so we should probably finish this up and do the station.
I see a lot of people who are saying that they want Dave to go back and make the last 3 movies not happen.
We could easily do it, I suppose. Right.
Okay, this is Docking Bay 94. You are listening to us on sci-fi.radio. You could be watching us on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch. Any of those things are good. If you are at any of those places, give us a like or whatnot. Let us know you were there. And in the meantime, a big thanks to Boba-Kit Sovine, who does all of our cool social media and all of that kind of stuff. Works pretty hard at that all week when the show isn't even going on. So thanks, Kit. She's over there in our chat, by the way, posting links and that kind of stuff. I'm Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledado.
I'm Colleen Kaylee Crosby.
And thanks for hanging out.
Let's move on. That's okay with you guys?
Sweetly.
To theme parks.
Theme parks.
The first thing we want to talk about is gifts to magic key holders. Not keysters.
Keyholes.
Keyholes.
Dang, keyholes.
The most exciting item is, what we have in our article, is that Disneyland is offering a free Magic Band Plus for magic key holders at 8 different locations throughout the resort.
Right.
At Disneyland, with the purchase of anything. Anything at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Sean and I went to the downtown Disney shop, the Star Wars shop.
We went to Pin Traders, actually.
And next door to the Star Wars shop is the Pin Traders.
Yeah.
Where I was able to buy this really cool pin. I'm going to hold it up. It's a Haunted Mansion pin that says, it's got an HM on one side, and then it spins around, and it's got a G for Gracie Manor on the other side. See if I can get that close enough for you guys to see.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Give that a spin.
Neat.
So this is very distinctly from the movie.
Yeah, definitely from the movie. But it's really neat. And that was, I don't remember how much it cost. Oh, yes, I do. It was $18. And
with the discount.
Oh, and then a discount off of the $18.
Right.
And then for my troubles, I got a Magic Band Plus.
Oh, nice.
Which is really cool because it's the happiest place on earth. Because
Neat.
we can take this apart and use it as a magic band for bounding. So we can repaint it and all that stuff. And then it also makes it so that if we go with a friend, we can let them borrow one if we're able to.
Right.
But the thing that's really exciting that it comes with is this magic little thing, which is the charging cable.
Charger. Right.
There we go.
Which cannot be had for love or money. it can only be had. Well, I mean, I guess it could be had for money if you buy a whole nother band.
Buy a whole other thing.
You can't buy the
Nice.
charging cable all by itself.
Which is rude. You'd think they would allow you to do that.
Totally rude.
But
and then no.
Sorry,
you had more about the Magic Band?
yeah, I was gonna say that one's all like sort of adorned with stuff. This is the basic Magic Band, and one of the benefits of this thing is that you can remove this black portion of it and just take the puck out of there. And that's the thing that we're going to build into our Star Wars bounding costumes, so that we don't have to wear this thing on our wrist. We'll wear some other weird thing on our wrist instead.
Oh,
Don,
there you go.
you don't get to pick
Cool.
the Magic Band. It is a special magic key holder one that says the happiest place on earth on the face of it. And then on the band, it says Magic Key Disneyland and has it has drawings of various.
Basically,
of the
what it
attractions.
boils down to is
But
this
it's
was a
this one.
Magic Band that they offered on Disney, Shop Disney. It did not sell, and they're giving it away for free now.
Yeah.
And I think that's because the reason why it didn't sell is because, I mean, there are so many better designs.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
Yeah.
really cool designs.
And so a lot of people were very invested in being an annual pass holder and having the stickers and the T-shirts and the things like that. Fewer people are interested in identifying themselves as key holders because it's so complicated now to get your reservation and to do whatever, and there's so much legalese. I just renewed my pass because Disney was like, really, they're like, oh my God, you have to do it by the 9th or else you're out of luck, and it goes, you can't do it. And so I just renewed mine. And the legalese I had to go through to do that was insane. And there's like, you promise if you have a problem with your Magic Band, with your Magic Key, you will go through our binding arbitration process. You will not bring a class action lawsuit. You will not whatever. And at the very bottom, you have to click a box that says you read it, and it says, I have read all the terms of this contract, including the class action lawsuit. I mean, they're really worried about getting sued because you buy let's say you get the top of the line pass that says you can go any day to Disneyland that you want to, but you can't if you can't get a reservation. And that's what people are very upset about. And so what Disney did by going to this Magic Key thing is they sucked the pride out of it. It's like if you're working at a job and you have super job loyalty, and then somebody does really something stupid that makes you feel dumb for working there, and suddenly your loyalty is not quite what it was. It's really hard to build that back. It's sort of exactly what happened with Disneyland, because people miss their annual passes and they're not happy with the Magic Keys.
I was happy to have also like a physical pass. So I'm glad that you could at least, you have to buy something obviously, but I'm glad you can link it with the wristband, so it's at least something physical. So
because sometimes
my damn phone.
Sometimes their apps don't work, and so my app kept crashing. I couldn't get into the park, and I had misplaced my Magic Band. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to get into the park for them to figure out how to look up my my Magic Key.
Exactly.
And it was
a
real pain.
And we've gotten around that by I've started saving the reservation number,
the confirmation
in our calendar.
Yeah, it's just fun.
So the other Magic Key item that they're giving away is a giveaway. It's not something that you buy, and they're doing these one a week in the month of September, and I was lucky enough to be there the first day that they were giving these away, so I got the first week's, and Sean did as well.
Yes.
Sean will be able to get every week's. I won't be able to.
Well, I might be able to get one for you.
But there are these little trading cards, and they're lenticular. I don't know if you can see that yet.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me try and... I'm not in real time here. I have a lag. So
no,
I
it's
can't
working.
Tell if you're
You're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lenticular, and it's this is the Thurl Ravenscroft card for his singing bust role. And on the back it says, Haunted Mansion, the second bust from the left in the graveyard is performed in verse voiced by Thurl Ravenscroft. He also is Fritz in Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room and Buff in Country Bear Jamboree. And this is the back of it. And I was super excited that the one that they were giving out was Thurl Ravenscroft because I love him.
Yeah.
So I was excited to get this.
He's great.
I don't know whether I'll like the rest of them as much. And, you know, it's not like I need more junk in my house, more ephemera.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's pretty simplistic art, but, you know.
It's
effective.
it's very much like, who's that guy who does mid-century modern
Shag?
replica art? Yeah, it's very Shag looking.
Okay.
And it's on a
That's cool.
on a background of the Haunted Mansion wallpaper. It's pretty cool. So, I hope everybody is able to get those who wants them.
The place that we found it was if you go into the Disneyana Gallery, which is when you walk in through the right tunnel. It's the old Bank of America building off to the right. You go in there and you go towards the back, and people kept coming in looking confused, and they're like, "Oh, are you looking for the cards? Go over here."
And that was how we remembered that they were even there.
That they were giving the cards away.
We knew that they were going to be giving cards away, but we had completely forgotten.
So they were in with the collectible art in the room that you can take from the Disneyana shop into Mr. Lincoln.
Okay.
In that walkthrough area. So, yeah, it was actually really, really nice. We had stopped in, and one of the guys there was a guy that I knew. And so we were talking to him, and then he was the one who piped up to somebody else going, "Oh, are you looking for the cards?" And we're like, "Oh, crap, the cards."
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was good.
Well, that's cool.
We had a first look at the Halloween costumes for Donald and the rest of the Fab Five at Disneyland. And I don't know, Sean, if you want to share the pictures of those.
Let me see if I can fire this up. I got to tell you,
Chippendale looked dumb.
I went to Disneyland with a friend last week, and he was so fixated on trying to get a challenge coin that I completely spaced on seeing the big giant pumpkin on my way into the park, because he's like run, and I like completely and there it was right there, and I completely missed it.
You mean the one that you could take pictures in front of that's at the opposite end?
Yeah, the one I'm showing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's by the flagpole.
Yeah.
When you first walk in. Completely didn't see that they had put it up. And it wasn't until I was leaving going, was that here when I got in here? Because...
So what are Chippendales supposed to be, like ghost leprechaun pumpkins?
I think they're prisoners. No,
prisoners.
Like the Hatbox Ghost, but twice?
They're like ghost pumpkins or something. It's really weird.
Or one of the hitchhiking ghosts twice?
They've got leprechaun hats. They've got, like, candy corn stomachs with pumpkin faces on them.
Yeah.
And then ghost over that. It's
so
really weird.
There's a candy corn sipper that I think is like supposed to be Donald in a candy corn costume. Huh. And it looks like what Chip and Dale are wearing, actually.
Weird.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a ghost candy corn thing. It's weird. I don't...
Oh, here's a description of their costume. Matching spooky candy corn pieces with blue transparent overlays.
Well, we got that.
We did.
But are the blue transparent overlays supposed to make them look like ghosts? Is what I want to know.
I think it is.
I mean, are they...
That's what I'm guessing.
Are they ghost candy corn?
Pumpkin candy corn leprechaun ghosts.
It's too complicated.
Yeah.
It's just too complicated.
Magically
and then,
delicious.
Like, I don't know...
Daisy's a witch.
And Donald's a devil.
Donald's a devil.
Yeah.
Mickey is
a spooky ringmaster?
Or maybe he's like the guy at the Haunted Mansion?
The Hatbox Ghost? No.
Yeah.
No, I meant at the front door.
Oh, no, but he's wearing orange.
Ghost, okay.
He's not the
he's
ghost
supposed
host.
to be Halloween, though.
Maybe he's a hitchhiking ghost.
And
I
then
don't know.
Minnie is like a vampire bat?
Yeah, she's like Lily or something, I don't know.
Pluto seems
weird.
to be a spider?
I don't know.
Spiderweb
Pluto's
dog?
one of those spitting dinosaurs. He's like got the hood. He's a
That's what he is.
Dilophosaurus or whatever.
Clarabelle is, I don't know, a spiderweb?
Can I just point out that Clarabelle's got all the sexy sass going on
She
Yeah.
does.
in that lineup?
I think I think it's because she walked into a spider web and that's her costume. I think that's what it is.
Right.
Nice.
And then apparently Goofy is a blue and orange patchwork jester.
You know what?
Yeah.
He said, thinking. So, Disneyland closed early yesterday.
Oh.
They closed at
Oogie
10.
Boogie Bash or something?
Yeah, well, no. Oogie Boogie
Oh,
Bash
10,
was,
okay, 10.
was over at
DCA.
DCA. And so what was really weird is they shut down 2 hours early. And I don't know. It didn't. I couldn't figure out what the heck they were doing. And so let me see if I can make this
Private
work.
party or something, maybe?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're
just
wearing different costumes on the stairs to the train.
Yeah.
Scroll down in there.
Well, and so that's what I was gonna show. If I can make. Oh, and of course.
Oh no, that was from last year.
They were wearing these costumes at the train. I took pictures of them last night.
Yeah, it's like almost the same thing, just different colors.
No, not even different colors. I think it's just different lighting.
Oh,
No,
yeah, okay.
I'm looking at a different picture. If you scroll down in the same
Yeah, I will.
article, there are pictures of the characters standing on the where you have the characters there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's last year's costumes.
Right. But I saw them in this year's costume, and I
Right,
couldn't
okay.
figure out what the heck they were supposed to be.
So
I-
I guess they were just yeah, I don't know.
Spooky travelers.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was weird. But yeah, by virtue
see, yeah.
of the fact that they had shut down the park early, and all the cast members were talking about it.
Yeah.
They're like, why are we
that about?
closing at 10? Which was really very strange. So
Yeah, they don't know. Jeez.
yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe there was a problem somewhere in the park you didn't know about.
No, I think it's just a
Gosh.
cost cutting measure. They're like, oh, if we close it, but usually when there's the Oogie Boogie Bash and people can't get into DCA
Yeah, they'll go to Disney.
They
yeah.
stay
Makes-
open.
Makes sense to me.
till midnight at Disneyland.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of confused cast members, and I spent my last half hour running around trying to find that zipper for Mela,
Okay.
and all the cast. And I'm like, well, you're closing in like 15 minutes. And they're like, we are. And the lead would go, yes, we are.
Oh no.
So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Oogie Boogie Bash 2023, which is the Disney Halloween party at DCA, has
Yeah.
new villains this year. And one of them is Lots of Hug and Bear.
Lots of Hug and Bear,
from
which
Toy
Yeah.
Story, which is on all the merch, like
Bizarre.
everywhere.
yeah, this is a thing that Colleen and I were just talking about because Lots of Hug and Bear for some reason is really popular just as a regular character.
Experience the breath.
I guess that's a
there you
video.
go.
Yeah,
that-
it's a video. Don't open it. And then they also have the bad guy from San Francisco, the one
Oh,
in,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
in the mask.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Sean?
I do, yes.
The
he's-
guy in the Asian mask.
He's
that-
in the the kabuki mask. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah. And then who else do we have here? Sorry, I'm
Gosh,
Oh,
darn
it
it!
looks like they've got the bad guy from Roger Rabbit.
Judge Doom.
Yeah, Judge Doom.
That's
Now that's a
interesting.
cool one to have.
Yeah.
All
That-
right. I think I got
From what I
this
understand,
figured
and I don't know if this is in the document, it probably isn't, is that, yeah, it doesn't look like it, is that this is probably spoilery, I guess, for some people. I don't know. They're actually, but since it's sold out, I guess it isn't really a spoiler because no one can see it. Judge Doom, he reenacts what he does to the shoe.
Oh no!
Oh, he does
Scary.
the dip thing?
Yeah. Yes. And people are like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's a cartoon shoe. Go see the movie. Calm down."
Yeah, lots of Huggin' Bear was
This video's too long, Sean.
Alistair Cray. I'm skipping
Yeah.
through it.
Oh, okay, good.
So Alistair Cray was the other guy, and I guess they've got the nanobots creeping over behind him, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, they just opened San Francisco Square, which Colleen
Yeah.
and I went and checked out this past
Oh,
weekend.
cool.
And here's Judge Doom. Oh yeah, he's got the whole stage, and they gave him a backdrop. He's got like a whole
totally
Toontown back. Although, they're not hanging Jessica from a hook behind him. So, but,
he looks pretty good though.
yeah, he doesn't look bad.
Geez.
He doesn't look bad. So that's fun. I like that they mix up the villains and stuff. Judge Doom's a really good choice, I think.
Yeah.
Oh
to do
yeah,
it.
great.
And of
Disney
course,
villain.
none of us are gonna get to see him
Yeah.
because
I know,
we're
damn
not
it.
going to the Halloween party.
Sold out,
But-
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should do that again one of these times.
Oh, totally.
Sean and I have only been the one time that you invited us, Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And,
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, so we should go back sometime and do that again.
But I do
That'd
want to
be
say,
awesome.
so Colleen and I went to a store that is, it's a little Japanese sort of pop culture store that's in the mall, and it's a chain. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Okay.
Because all I can think of
Oh,
is,
in the Fox Hills Mall?
Yeah, all I can think of is Daiso, but it's not Daiso. It's like
No.
Miso something. So anyway, they've got a lot of characters and stuff that they're doing Sanrio and things like that. But there were no less than like 6 different lots of Huggin' Bear things. You could get like slippers and
It
a
was crazy.
pillow and bathroom glasses and like all of
Yeah.
this stuff. And I'm like, he's not nice. Why? There are so many other Toy Story characters that you can do. Why? He's a terrible guy.
yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Oh dear.
I am trying to see what the
Tokyo Japanese Lifestyle, is that
No.
one of them?
No.
that's not it. I
No?
can
You don't
tell
have
you
that
I've
one?
got the
Okay.
website. I just
Miniso is what it's
Miniso,
called.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to Disneyland. If you remember back to April, when Fantasmic's dragon went up in flames,
Yeah.
they are
Yes.
still revamping Fantasmic and will be working on it through spring of 2024.
Wow.
So in the meantime, they have put together a new nighttime projection show featuring a jazz score that may be set to music from Soul that will play on the Rivers of
Oh.
America.
Wow.
It's opening on September 29th, and they say it is a living mural set to a jazz score that tells a whimsical tale of a mischievous bayou frog lured to New Orleans by the music he hears in the distance.
Okay, that sounds a little more like
It sounds
Princess and
like
the Frog.
a lead in to Tiana's palace.
It
Yeah.
sounds like if this
Must be
article
that
has
music.
correct information, they have merged part of Soul with part of the Princess and the Frog, and
Okay.
come up with this river story.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I missed this because I went to Disneyland yesterday and not tonight because I had this thing to do. I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah.
Tiana's palace opened tonight.
Oh
So
wow.
one more quick thing about this waterfront
Yeah.
show is that the waterfront buildings will have animated original artwork created by Disney Live Entertainment graphic designer Marcella Marcy Sweat, who is best
Oh, wow,
known
okay.
for her sidewalk chalk art creations in downtown Disney for Black Music Month.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
And the show that they do there, they map images to the old mill across on Tom Sawyer's Island. So when you're standing there on the waterfront in New Orleans Square, they've got that all completely mapped out. And then, of course, they have the water screens that they can show stuff on that they use for Phantasmic. And they've been doing a lot of things. When Colleen and I went to Club 33 and they did the fireworks show there, they did a lot of that. They were showing projections on the building. And despite the building being like this dark brown, crummy wood kind of deal, the projections work really well. I'm really kind of surprised how well they work out.
Cool.
And I think I neglected to say what the title of it is. It's called Heartbeat of New Orleans.
Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. It's...
Yeah. And then
nice.
Sean started bringing up the Tiana's Palace opening.
Yes.
And I've seen some reviews with photos there. And it looks nice.
Yeah, they had some sort of special event last night where people got to go and check it out. I've got the menu in front of me.
So I saw a review of the new beignets that says
That's
they're
what
not
it
very
was.
good.
The house-filled beignets.
Yeah.
I heard that they're too sweet and they needed to go with powdered sugar on top of them instead of icing.
Oh, I was like, they want to make it more sweet by adding the powdered sugar?
No, so it's a lemon icebox pie filling topped with lemon glaze. And they need to ditch the glaze and they need to put powdered sugar is what I keep hearing.
So,
Gotcha.
the review that I read said that the beignets aren't piping hot and they're hollow, but
Not necessarily filled all the way.
they've got filling, but they still have a lot of air in them. Which beignets are supposed to have air in
So
them.
it sounds like the
it's
ones
okay.
they usually have.
But this person said it was a nice beignet, but I'm not sure I'll be getting it very often.
I'd like to taste it, but
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
they
Yeah,
have a lily pad and lotus cup ceramic
Yeah.
set that
And-
they're offering that come with the beignets. If you
'Cause
need a
bizarre.
collectible thing.
Come with
Their
beignets for
beignet-
a price.
Their
Yeah.
beignets
if
are a
you-
little more like a pastry than a donut, I guess is the best way to put it for Disneyland.
No, beignets are for closest to a donut. They're closer
That's what
to
I
a
mean.
donut than they are to a pastry. Yeah.
That's what I mean. The Disney ones are more like a pastry than a donut. That's what I'm saying.
They're all
Not
right.
quite- they're not quite there.
I mean, they're not Cafe Du Monde level.
I mean, the main thing about
Yeah.
those is that you need to get them when they're piping hot. That's
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
They handed out buttons to people who went on opening day, and the buttons say
Oh.
Tiana's Palace, opening day, September 7th, 2023, Disneyland.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
They apparently
Nice.
handed out Indiana Jones buttons while I was there, but I didn't see anybody handing them out, and I didn't see anybody wearing them.
Oh.
Weird.
Because apparently Indiana Jones is coming to Blu-ray,
Oh.
the latest Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, they're going to make it a Blu-ray now? Because
Yeah.
it was just going to
It was going to be
download.
digital only. Yeah, but
Yeah, I'm like, "You
apparently
bastards.
apparently they backed that off. Although
Thank God.
Australia apparently isn't getting any Disney DVD anything ever again,
Oh, boo.
which is a
What the
real
heck?
bummer. But I guess here in the US we're going to get it. So
Cool.
So
Yes.
the item that did get a really high review from these people, who I don't know personally, they just have a website called Food at Disneyland, and man, they try
Creative.
everything. I don't even know how they're able to do that, but maybe they're a big group. The buttermilk cornbread from Tiana's Palace, they say this buttermilk cornbread was fantastic. I'm not a huge cornbread fan, but it tasted great alone and with butter on it. Perhaps
Oh,
they'll add
cool.
honey packets at some point too. It was a big piece of cornbread, was moist, and had a nice flavor.
well, it's $4 for a piece of cornbread.
And
so.
I'm going to say
Nice.
that I bet it's closer to cake.
You right?
It looks pretty close to cake in this
That's funny.
image.
Okay.
So I'm on the Disney page and I'm looking at Tiana's Palace menu.
Uh-huh.
There's no pictures of anything
Oh, boy.
on here.
Right.
It's all text, which is really kind of weird.
I've got all
Yeah.
the pictures here in this blog that I'm looking at.
Hmm.
They also recommend highly, they give it a 9.5 rating, the Gulf Shrimp and Grits, simmered in Creole sauce with cheesy grits.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to go no
Gag.
on that.
Do they have a veggie meal?
They
Or no?
do have a vegetarian option for that. It's something
okay.
else in grits. I can't remember. I remember a couple weeks
else
ago
in
seeing
grits.
it.
Something in grits. Nummy,
It's
nummy.
here's the menu. It's
Taters.
Okay, I have found.
it's called Seven Greens Gumbo is what they have.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Cool.
Here's
Okay.
the Disney
you-
Parks blog.
You can't get the Jeff. You can't get the grits with that. The
Oh,
grits
that's
only
not
come
really a
with
big
shrimp.
deal.
Yeah,
Not too worried about it.
grits are gross. So.
There's the beignet.
That's the beignet, which
Yeah.
doesn't look exactly like a beignet, and
Yeah.
it's of course it's covered with glaze, and I imagine it's good, but if it's too
Yeah.
sweet, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
So the one that these people reviewed, it was all sunken. It wasn't all
Oh.
puffed up like that.
Oh, bummer.
Well, of course, this is the perfect Disney,
Yeah.
Right.
promo.
Oh, that,
version.
And there's
that must
your
be
vegetarian-
Seven Greens, yeah.
Yeah, choice right
Oh,
there,
wow.
Jeff.
Okay. Cool.
But I'm pretty sure we talked about these meals a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did,
Probably.
and some of them look pretty decent. That thing looks like it's got a bunch of mushrooms in it.
Those are olives.
I don't know.
Olives? Oh,
Or
okay.
the one on the left?
On the right.
Oh, on the right.
Yeah, the name of that one sandwich is always funny.
The muffaletta.
I bet that the one on the right doesn't have
It's the
mushrooms in
beef
it.
po' boy, I guess. It's
Yeah, the one on the right. Yeah.
doesn't say. Just says it's slow cooked beef. Pasta.
Yeah.
There's the cornbread, and it just looks like a cornbread muffin.
The
Yeah.
beef po' boy sandwich is slow cooked beef in gravy dressed with shredded lettuce, tomato, pickle, and mayonnaise on toasted New Orleans French bread served with red beans and rice and house-made pickles. So you'll be fine.
Cheesy grits.
And then there's mac and cheese. All right.
Woo!
Red beans and rice. Ooh, cool.
Oh, it does.
Okay,
It does look like you can get the grits as a side.
Yeah.
The
And
menu
there's
that
red
I
beans
was.
and rice and stuff. Cool.
They do have Ray as a light up firefly.
Yeah. Remember that. Yeah.
which was
that
kind of
so
cool. That was cute. He's a glow cube. Of course, right now the glow cube to get is apparently the pumpkin shaped one.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have much of a need for it.
Excuse me.
I have a list of all of the pumpkin items at Disneyland. All the
Uh-oh.
pumpkin food items that you can get in Disneyland parks, but I'll save that for another day. The Worlds of Marvel restaurant on the new
Yeah.
Disney Treasure is new.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people
It's like
taking
it's like
Disney
a character
cruises
dining
right
thing.
now.
It seems
Yeah,
to
it's
be.
like a Spider-Man meal, it looks like.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
This is the treasure.
And
I'm
then
trying
you
to.
get some
The treasure
performances.
is not underway yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not. They
So
haven't
this
made
photo
any
is actually
trips.
from the Disney Wish. It's not from the treasure. The one with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're just saying there will
Yeah.
be a new Marvel
Yeah.
experience. And it's interesting because I just saw an announcement of a Jungle Cruise themed restaurant on one of the ships that's not open yet.
Yeah, that looked kind of cool.
Yeah. So I think I would opt for that one were I given the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trailers. Let's see.
Ahoy.
Coming to Hulu on September 22nd, No One Will Save You. And I won't be watching this because, well, it's a horror movie and
Yeah.
our Hulu is broken for some reason and we can't
Oh, there you
access
go.
it.
Yeah, I have to uninstall it and reinstall it
Yeah.
or something. We haven't been able to watch Only Murders in the Building yet because
Oh, dear.
stupid Hulu.
Yeah. For aliens and horror stories, or alien horrors thing, whatever. Actually, it looks kind of neat. I do want to see how this turns out because I mean it has the one woman who's obviously going to be the hero of the entire film. So, and aliens that come to Earth kind of thing, right? Horror, typical. But so I want to see it. That and the weird looking aliens that they had in the trailer. So that looks neat.
Yeah. Coming to theaters on September 22nd, Relax, I'm from the Future.
Yeah.
Which looked amusing, but not enough to go to a theater.
It looks very British, and it looks very violent.
It has
Looks
Rice Effin? Rice? What is his name?
Yeah, he's on, I think he's on Our Flag Means Death right now, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it looked amusing enough, but definitely not my kind of thing to spend the money to go to a theater. If it comes to one of the channels that I already get, I will watch it, but I won't go out of my way. Coming to Netflix on September 22nd is Spy Kids Armageddon.
Yeah.
Did not watch the trailer for this because I'm not going to watch this.
It looks like Spy Kids The Next Generation. I mean, it's not.
Totally.
It's nobody from the other Spy Kids movie. They're just like making another one.
Yeah. Literally, it has a lot of aspects of earlier movies that I've seen of this thing too. So I'm like,
and it's the full.
I said the wrong person's name when I said I said someone who was in another movie.
Oh,
it's like Rhys Darby or something.
Rhys
Darby.
Yeah.
I said Iffens, and he's in the next movie we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Rhys Darby was Flag Means Death. It has Zachary Levi playing the dad. I don't know. There you go. Spy Kids. Fun. That's all I know.
Which seems.
I think it was Zach, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I'll have to go back and look at it again.
It's Zach Levy. Gina Rodriguez is in it. And a couple of kids we haven't met yet. And
I'm most likely not going to watch this.
No, but if it's up to snuff with the rest of the Spy Kids franchise, universally they have been applauded for being really great movies. So and
maybe I should watch them.
For the audience at which they are aimed, which is like tweens, they're great because kids get to do all the cool spy stuff that adults usually get to do in movies. So, instead of watching 60-year-old Tom Cruise do this stuff, you get to watch a bunch of kids do it.
Coming to theaters in October and Netflix on November 3rd, Naiad. And this is a movie about a woman who is 60 and trying to swim from Florida to Cuba, I believe.
Yeah.
I want to see this because
it's a long way to go
the
for
cast.
A cigar.
Yeah. It's got Annette Bening and Jodie Foster as the leads in it. Annette Bening is playing Diana Naiad, who's trying to do the swim. And Jodie Foster is her coach and maybe her partner. I couldn't quite tell from the trailer. And, it looks really good. I want to see it.
Yeah.
So, that is good. And then, I don't know if you guys...
Look for amazing performance, really, from Annette Bening just for the trailer. Good grief.
It really did.
Yeah.
Definitely good enough to see on Netflix. Coming to Hulu on November 3rd. Sean better get Hulu fixed by then because I want to see Quiz Lady.
That looks so funny.
Because Quiz Lady has Awkwafina in it, and I just love Awkwafina. She's so funny. And this is a story about... these two women, they're the care center that their mom is in. The woman calls from there and said, "We've lost your mom." And the two daughters start, crying, "You've lost our mom." And then the person says, "Oh, sorry, I meant she's lost. We don't know where she is."
Right, she's not dead. She's run away.
So it turns out that, I don't know whether the mom ran away or the mom got kidnapped, but the mom's dog definitely got kidnapped. And,
because she racked up a bill.
Yeah, and the bad guys who kidnapped the dog say that they want a greater amount of money than the daughters are able to front. And so it turns out that Awkwafina is really good at Jeopardy-like game shows. And so her sister says, "We're going to put you on the show, win the money, get the dog back." And it looks like fun.
Sandra Oh is the mom. Jason Schwartzman, I think is...
Sandra Oh is the sister.
Yeah, she's the sister.
Oh, she's the sister?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was the mom.
She's the older sister, and Awkwafina is the younger sister.
Jason Schwartzman seems to be running the game show. Holland Taylor is in it. We haven't seen her in anything in a while. Tony Hale and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Will Ferrell's the game show host.
He's the host. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Schwartzman's like
but-
the producer of the game show.
Sandra
That makes
Oh,
sense.
like at least from the trailer, it looks like she's finally doing something that's completely different than anything I've seen her do in
Right.
films. So it's like cool, finally.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see this. I hope that we have Hulu back so that we can
I'll get it
Yeah.
fixed. It'll be fine. I got a month, right? 2 months.
Well, no, because I want to see only murders in the building too.
Yeah, you got like two things, man.
Yeah, two things, two reasons to watch it. Coming to theaters on December 1st, Godzilla -1. Jeff, tell us about it.
Oh, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. This is like, to me, this is like Toho's apology for the last Godzilla movie. This
Wow.
looks so good.
Are you going to watch it in the theater?
If I can, yes.
Nice.
I mean, Shin Godzilla, I hated that movie. To me, it was a total travesty. It's just horrible. So this was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. And it takes place like, it's sort of like a remake sort of the original film in a sense, like much like Shin is, but it's a remake in that time period. So it goes back to
It's post
World War II.
Yeah.
Right after it, yeah. So it's in like the late 40s or something. That looks
Interesting.
great.
Okay.
And they get really like up close and personal with the disaster movie aspect of it. It's like we're used to seeing people running and like, oh look, Godzilla's in the background and whatever.
Gojira,
And-
my voice doesn't match my lips. Yeah.
Right, and in this case, it's like people are running down the street and then the foot goes stomp.
Yeah.
Like right behind them, and it's like, whoa! And he's like taking out buildings, and people are
Yeah.
like, ah! It's really
Yeah,
pretty
this
funny.
looks like the most ambitious thing they've done, in my opinion, that I've seen. Live action wise. So,
And do they explain the -1 part? What's the -1?
I don't remember. In the trailer, they say something about it.
It sounds like
But-
Godzilla lost his partner or something. There is
I can't remember what it was.
Godzilla
I'll have
-1.
to go back. Yeah. Well, I'll look into that. I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Coming to theaters on December 8th, The Boy and the Heron. And I did not watch this trailer, so I don't know what it's about.
Studio Ghibli.
And it's like the first movie from Studio Ghibli in like 20 years or something. Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like
Yeah.
been a really long time. And so a traditional style anime story. And so,
Yeah.
and it's Hayao Miyazaki, who of course did all the great Studio Ghibli stuff, has like come out of retirement, I guess, to do
Yeah.
this. Because I thought he retired. So
Yeah,
we'll have
and
to
he
see.
came back out. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
So,
mean,
yeah.
it should be good. And is this going to theaters or is like Netflix getting it?
It says theaters.
Theaters, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming to Netflix on December 15th, Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget. I feel like, I don't know whether this is feature length or short, but I feel like these, I can't remember the name of the studio.
Aardman.
Aardman.
Yeah.
They really excel at the short length videos. I don't really like their feature length.
Gotcha.
I feel like
Gotcha.
they're too long. But I'm not a
Yeah.
huge fan of animations, so there's that.
I think I'm looking to see if it says how long this film is. It's 1 hour 37 minutes, so it's not a short. And the cast: Zachary Levi for the second time this show,
Yes. Yeah.
Bella Ramsey, Miranda Richardson, Thandie Newton, David Bradley, Imelda Staunton. Jane Horrocks is back as Babs. She was Babs in the last one. They got a good gang going on. And yeah, I don't remember, like, the only parts I remember of Chicken Run were the parts that they were parodying other movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, this is the Great Escape. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All
So
of
it's-
Chicken
yeah,
Run was the
they're
Great
like-
Escape.
Yeah. In the first one, they escaped the chicken ranch.
Right,
This time they're breaking
Tweety's
in.
Ranch.
Yeah, so they can break out the other chickens. Yeah.
Okay, so where was
So it
I?
looks
Coming
funny.
to theaters on January 1st, One Life. I have no clue. I did not watch this trailer either.
It's a biographical. It's a biographical account of a photographer that went into I can't remember the name of the damn country, but he went to the country and was taking pictures of all these people and children in the country during World War II. And
he went
then
to
basically
Prague.
he went to, huh?
He went to Prague.
Prague, yeah. And he basically went in and they hatched a plan to get all the children or everyone out. So they ended up getting all these kids out of before the Nazis, could take them. And then, and if you watch the trailer, you see it. I mean, I already know what happens at the very end of the trailer, because I remember the story.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're like, who here? Please stand if your life was made better or whatever by this man or whatever the wording was.
There was a game show, and
or sort of speak,
like a sort of a TV show, like a That's Incredible kind of show, and he was there as a guest. Yeah,
but he didn't know that. He was just in the audience sitting there, and they're like, and they had basically had all the children that had that were saved were in the audience, and he didn't know them because they're all adults, and he's way older. And they, so they all stood up and he turned around and
and it's Anthony Hopkins, at least for part of it. He's like the old incarnation of the character. I don't know who the young guy
I don't remember his name
is. They don't credit him. That's rude.
Oh, must have somewhere.
This does say that it's Warner Brothers UK and Ireland, so hopefully we do get that here.
Yeah.
All right, Sean.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about last week's too, or just this week's. But...
just the people that we have here, which I think are a combination of.
No, they're not.
They're not. Oh.
I will give you, because there's a person that I think you'll want to talk about in last week's.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just
the people that we do have listed here in folks that we've lost at the age of 52, we lost Jamie Christopher, who was a guy who worked himself up through the ranks in film to become an assistant director for the Rian Johnson Star Wars movie, the Harry Potter films for Marvel. He did Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think he did the entire Harry Potter franchise film thing. And he worked with James Gunn and Rian Johnson, and he did Knives Out, The Last Jedi. Super talented guy for whom his entire life was movie making, and he was the guy who loved making movies. Everybody loved working with him because he knew so much about movies, and basically turned a job into like a really fun environment. He worked on The Fifth Element. He worked on The Mummy. All sorts of really, really great stuff, and sadly passed away at 52 from heart issues. And gosh, that's just too young. 52 is just wrong. We lost Kyosho Yamazaki, was a instructor for Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically helping him make a transition from bodybuilder to action hero. Taught him how to do martial arts and swordplay and things like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a very extensive tribute to him. It's so sad to hear about that. Jimmy Buffett, who I think we talked about earlier, passed away at the age of 76. Of course, Margaritaville and Cheeseburger in Paradise and all sorts of really terrific songs, which, with their success, allowed him to start a chain of restaurants and hotels, like all of this kind of stuff. They basically rode the gravy train from his one big hit. Had a few others, and his fans are called parrot heads, and they would travel around and go to his concerts and eat at his restaurants and stay at his hotels, and it was all pretty great. But he was such a down to earth guy. Everybody really liked, supporting him, which was like really cool. But he passed away at the age of 76. Steve Harwell died. Steve was the lead singer of Smash Mouth, and so if you like their music, All Star and Why Can't We Be Friends and I'm a Believer, all sorts of songs that he did. He passed away at the age of 56, which is too young. And then Gary Wright passed away. He's the singer-songwriter who wrote the song Dreamweaver, which got a bit of a boost through Wayne's World and flashback sequences. And now you can't hear Dreamweaver without going.
No.
We lost the previous week that we didn't get to talk about Bob Barker, who got as close to 100 as humanly possible, but without going over. Passed away at the age of 99. Of course, known for hosting The Price is Right and for his extensive animal activist work. He just had an absolutely phenomenal career, and was listed by some as the world's greatest MC. Kind of interesting. We lost Ray, basically the Def Jam singer and producer. He went by August 8, but that wasn't his real name, and I can't find his real name. Ray Jacobs, there we go. So he was an LA guy who worked with Justin Bieber and a lot of other artists, and did his own solo music and whatnot, and passed away at the age of 31, which is ridiculously young. It doesn't say here why he passed away. Nope. Sorry. A quick scan, and no such luck. And then kind of a really big deal. Arlene Sorkin, who originated the role of Harley Quinn. She was a soap opera actress, and she worked with or went to school with, I guess, with Paul Dini. Paul Dini and Bruce Timm created Batman the Animated Series, and Paul had seen Arlene in her Days of Our Lives role in a dream sequence as a Harlequin, and so she was dressed up in the clown stuff, and she was doing a silly voice, and he went, "Oh my gosh, Harley Quinn, she would be perfect," and so he cast her, and she came out and formulated the inaugural Harley Quinn persona, which she took from Guys and Dolls, where she was trying to do this sort of Adelaide, crazy, over-the-top accent kind of deal. And it really worked for Harley Quinn. It became her signature thing. She said that when she would go in to record voices for Harley Quinn, she would sing Adelaide's Lament from Guys and Dolls. And by the time she got to the studio, she was in character and ready to do it. And of course, she worked with James Gunn to create the Harley Quinn character and make sure that she was sort of true to the origins. And she worked a lot with Mark Hamill, who was the Joker, who wrote a tribute. He said, "Devastated to learn we've lost the brilliant Arlene Sorkin. Not just a wonderful talent, but a truly wonderful person. I'm grateful not only to have worked with her, but to have been her friend." And that's just we had never heard of Harley Quinn before Batman the Animated Series in 1990, and she made just such an indelible mark that they kept bringing her back for like animated series and things like that. And of course, she hasn't done the character in a little while. Other people have taken on the mantle, but she set it up. She originated it, and you may think Harley Quinn went much farther back than that from other Batman comics and things. It's like, nope, 1990, that cartoon series. We'd never seen her before.
Yep.
Jeff, do you have one speed round item?
Speed round item. Boy, oh boy. I was like going, oh, what are we happening here? Sure. How about, gosh, we had a lot of stuff here. Let's have to wait till next week. So, something I thought was the plan, and I guess obviously they're trying to set it up, and I really hope that Disney decides to keep up with the plan and bring it to Disney Plus someday. Is that during the Marvel shows that were on Netflix, Luke Cage and Iron Fist primarily, they were planning to. They had the two. They had Colleen Wing and Misty Knight, and the idea was they teamed them up at one point in the show, and they were trying to get a spinoff started called Daughters of the Dragon, which is based on the comic series of the same name, and starring the two of them. But as we know what happened with Netflix, that's what happened. It failed. But apparently that was the plan. According to the director the director of one of the episodes and such of the Luke Cage, that they were planning to do a spin-off series of the two, but yeah, didn't happen. So there you go.
Okay. I would like to mention that the Haunted Mansion in California's Disneyland is going to have an expansion where they're going to expand the line area at the beginning of the ride, and the when you exit the ride right now, there's a cart there that sells things, and they're going to build a little haunted shack so that you can exit through the gift shop. Construction on that will begin in January of 2024. So I would imagine when it closes down to take off the overlay, it might stay closed for if they need it to, in order to build any of this. But they might not need to because it's all exterior to the ride itself.
Yeah, they could just bypass that other stuff they're building if necessary.
Yep. Sean, you have 3 minutes to get a last item in and wrap up the show.
No pressure.
Right. Well, I mean, the big deal is, and we covered a little bit about this before, is that Halloween has gone big time at Disneyland. They have opened their Haunted Mansion overlay. I think that Guardians of the Galaxy also has a Halloween-themed overlay. And all of the hours are higgledy-piggledy. So if you go to Disneyland and conversely Walt Disney World, because of the Halloween season, double-check the hours on everything. Because like I said, Disneyland really freaked all of their cast members out by closing 2 hours early, which was just really weird and unexpected. And people I kept talking to didn't realize that their ship was ending in like 15 minutes. And if you collect the swag, good luck. It's crazy. Everybody's going nuts with it. But I am enjoying the overall vibe. When I was there yesterday, it was pretty cool. And they have a new fireworks show and projection show that they're doing, which is neat. And it was like the last thing you got to see as they shut down at 10 o'clock.
Oh man!
And booted us all out. But it should be pretty good. You can, if you want to, if you didn't get enough of me, hear me on Good Morning Tatooine, which is in the morning here on sci-fi.radio at 9 a.m. Pacific time or 12 p.m. Eastern time. That is always fun to have you guys join me. And of course, we're going to wrap out the week. You may have been watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Anywhere you happen to catch us is great. If you want to share the show, probably doing it on YouTube is best because they seem to lurk there for quite some time. And as usual, we will do this all again next week with your grateful participation. So thanks for being here. Anybody got anything else to add?
I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
well,
that's it. Yeah.
Gosh.
I'm calling Kaylee Crosby.
This is Jeff Soledad.
I am Sean Obi-Shawn Crosby. As always,
May the
May the
force
force
be with
you.
you.
I'll say goodbye to the radio people over here. Bye, radio people. And over here on the video, let me run y'all some credits here. I don't have to give credit to the theme because it didn't play this.
Yeah, dadgummit.
Like, what's up with that? And thanks to Kit for all of her cool, amazing, awesome work that she does.
Yeah.
We will see all you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.